Ruth bought a miniature lantana tree with a twisted trunk. She knows it's an annual here, but in North Carolina, where she fell in love with it, it's a perennial there.
True.
She wanted to try and overwinter it in a 4 inch or overwinter this 4 inch potted tree, but it stopped blooming so very early, and the leaves have dropped. Is there anything she can do to resuscitate that?
You should be able to resuscitate it. They are perennial. If you get down to zone 7/8, you have the warm part of 7. Here, and I didn't put that picture of the tree lantana that
No.
we're looking at this week
We
because
looked right
we're
at
not
it.
going to talk about that. Here, for the most part, if you want to keep a tree lantana and grow it on to get to be a big thing, then you keep it inside over the winter and keep bringing it back out.
These were obviously kept in greenhouses.
Right.
It looked like.
But the same thing's probably going to apply to her little bitty one, that what we've been told by the gardeners who bring those things in and out at Niagara Falls and Windsor at the parks. When they bring them in the fall, they strip every leaf off of the lantana because they're so prone to white fly that if they
Keep
bring it
bugs off.
into the greenhouse over the winter while the plant is less energetic because there's lower light inside the greenhouse, the white flies get the upper hand on it. So yours may have had some white fly or some problems to begin with. And what you need to do is keep those stems cleaner, let it leaf back out again. And when you bring it inside, don't forget that it's there. Put it on your kitchen window sill where it's going to get the moisture from every time you wash dishes or work in the sink, and where you can look at it every day and you see any discoloration of the leaf, any buildup of scruffiness on the underside of the leaf, then clean that plant off. Take a wet rag and wipe off the underside of the leaves to keep it clean through the wintertime. Let's go to just see what a picture of that looks like. Let's see. Scruffy leaves. There we go, ironweed. So for instance, ironweed, the new foliage is distorted. It's battling it out with a cut plant, which is one thing that does happen. But on the underside of the leaf, this isn't bad yet. Do you see the little flecks of white, like dust and dirt on there? Those are the shed skeletons of mites and the egg cases from mites hatching out. And mites are so small that you need a magnifier to see them, but they leave a mess behind them. And you're looking for messiness on the leaf to say, okay, those little dots and whatever might not seem like much, but something is sucking on this leaf and causing the other side of the leaf. There might be a mite there, Steve.
That guy right there.
The leaf will get dirtier and dirtier, and the top side of the leaf will start looking stippled because teeny tiny things are sucking on the underside of the leaf, and this is called stippling. So the leaf looks dusty on the top side, and it looks dirty on the other side. For mites or white flies are also, they're bigger, see white flies better. And as they get adult, then they fly around, and now you're really in trouble.
Yeah.
But look for that on the lantana. And for your plants outside. Now, the plants outside, it's fairly easy to handle mite problems.
Blow it off with water.
Blow it off, yeah. This is probably mites on the, and they're red mites when they're adults, a little easier to see on the phlox, sucking on these
Don't
things.
mistaken it for a fungus. It's a different.
Yeah.
There's different things. You gotta look close.
Okay, all right, let's go back to the chocolates. Go ahead, click. See that.
And just so you know, it is 10 o'clock.
So I think we will let that go at this point. We'll sign off with mammals, please, Stephen. Sign off with mammals, please. Mammals.
Okay.
Mammals, those things that cause problems, like we were talking about Sonia's dog trying to apologize for eating the zucchini last week.
And the raspberries.
We planted the clover in our lawn and let it grow, so because the rabbits and the groundhogs like to eat clover and they stay away from other things. We can't prevent things like squirrels who have nothing better to do than to take branches off of the gentian and sit on the log next to them and then pull them apart. Just
For no reason.
Squirrels, they're squirrely. That's all there is to it. We love that gentian, and so do they here. Groundhogs are always,
They can climb.
and they're fat, and they're looking for stuff to eat all the time. Michelle sent this picture. She said, "What happened to this house? Did something I said, well, while that hostile leaf was new, emerging and still rolled up, somebody
Something
chomped it
chomped
then. And because they chomped it in kind of a little scallop, my bet would be a groundhog.
Yeah,
Could be a deer too, but that's what you're looking for. And McGregor asked, what can I do for the deer? Because they've moved in on things. Our best success, other than fencing the garden with 8-foot plastic black
Yeah.
fencing, our best defense that we found was a motion activated sprinkler. Ones that we used were called scarecrow sprinklers. This one we just saw this week in a client's garden. It's called Orbit Yard Enforcer, also called Orbit Garden Enforcer. And the client had forgotten what it is. It's much more sophisticated than the one that we use,
much more.
and twice as expensive, if not more so. It's about $90 a piece. But you can set it so that it only works at night, which is great because as a motion activated sprinkler,
In the daytime,
it detects us.
yes, you
And
do.
we always forget that it's turned on and gets sprayed by the sprinkler. But
Plus you don't keep it in the exact same spot all the time. You
Move it
do
around.
have to move it around.
So you forget, oh, I had that sprinkler on, and then you get blasted.
Yeah.
So,
But Sue's got them attached to her irrigation system. We had ours just attached to hoses. And you set it up for how far away it is, the range, how far away it is, and how long you're gonna spray it, and those work really well.
Okay.
They scare us. As soon as you hear that, you go, oh, man, boom, you get hit by water. It works very well for the deer. So you put them where you know the deer are coming from, you point it at them and keep them out. So that's it. We've concluded all we can do in now 2 sessions of diagnosing problems, part 2. Send us an email. Pictures are great. We'll put them in our gardens in a timely fashion because it's when it's happening right now that you want to deal with it and we want to deal with it.